Hello everybody, my name is Mary Harbert, and this is my presentation on Montana Native American Education Gap. So here's a little bit about Montana Native Americans. There are 7 Native American reservations in Montana: the Blackfeet Indian Reservation, Crow Indian Reservation, Flathead Indian Reservation, Fort Belknap Indian Reservation, Fort Peck Indian Reservation, Northern Cheyenne Reservation, Rocky Boys Indian Reservation. And Montana has 11 Native American tribes on 7 reservations. This makes up 6% of Montana's population. Each tribe has unique customs and traditions. Native Americans have shown resiliency in adapting to change and keeping their culture and traditions alive. They have kept their culture alive with dance, songs, games, language, and ceremonies, community events of rodeos and powwows. And there are 44.6% of Native American students attending school on a reservation, and there's 55.4% that attend school off of the reservation. So I found this story, and I provided a link over here underneath the picture so that you can listen to it, because he does tell his own story. But this is just a glimpse of history. A Long Way Home, a Crow Indian boarding school story by Clay Scott. This is a story of Curtis Bryan, a principal at the athletic director and an athletic director of Lodge Grass High School on Montana's Crow Indian Reservation. Bryan talks about his emotional and physical scars left by his 4 years at Indian boarding schools. I decided not to go to school that particular day. That day changed his life forever. Bryan had just started his freshman year of high school when he took his father's truck into Crow Agency. There, he accidentally hit 2 students getting off a bus. He was then arrested and ordered to go to a boarding school by a tribal court. It was a typical boarding school. Daily fights, I had my fair share of those, as well as being in survival mode almost on a daily basis. There were gangs and rivalries which led to violence. They did not have locking doors, so at night attacks would happen. Oftentimes we went to bed with something in our hand, a piece of wood or object we could use. It was a form of post-traumatic stress disorder. Even now I catch myself guarded against myself, because in an instant I could be angry. Not how I was raised, but because of how I was forced to be. Bryan had a favorite teacher who at the beginning of class let them talk about anything they wanted, which was usually about home. I really appreciated him, so I wanted to be like him. So here are some of today's impacts that I found. Boarding schools and other federal policies brought despair to tribal communities and lasting impacts on Native Americans today. Because of this history, our relationship with Native American children and education is broken. According to Yellowstone Public Radio, results from the Annie E. Casey Foundation in 2017, on a scale 0 to 1,000, the race for results recorded Montana white children at 671, while Native Americans were at 267, which is second lowest in the nation. Montana is already a rural state, and reservations are even more isolated. This results in poverty, and average earnings of a family of 4 for Native Americans is $48,500 in 2015. Poverty adds to stress levels, instability, worries of housing and food. These all contribute to children in the school system. This is adding to the education gap between Native American children and white children. Montana Public Radio, OPI 2017, shared graduation rates of Native Americans at a rate of 69.5% and whites at 88.7%. Here are some pictures that I provided. These are scores from the Smarter Balanced Assessment, or SBAC, tests from the Montana American Indian Student Achievement Data. And as you can see, the red is American Indian and the white is the blue. So you can see right there the gap, which is pretty significant. So what can we do? Well, we can play a part in this. A great start is learning about their history and building back a healthy relationship. We can do this by doing research, listening to speakers and their stories. Learn and be a part of their culture and traditions by attending powwows. Guests can join the round dance and taste traditional foods. The Crow Fair and Rodeo, which is the largest Native American celebration in the state. Fort Belknap's Milk River Indian Days, and Rocky Boys annual powwow. There is the Museum of the Plains Indian in Browning, Chief Plentycoo State Park Museum in Pryor, and many more you can find on MontanaKids.com. As educators, we can start in early childhood education, offer resources of high-quality preschools, find local resources in your area and have their information on hand. Implementing culturally based early childhood programs might help Native communities mitigate the effects of historical trauma and provide a strong foundation for success. Medicaid, so they have access to quality health, which impacts their schooling and education. Create a partnership with family engagement. Have them as guest speakers, attend field trips, have them help in the classroom. When families are involved, they are valued and children are more successful. It won't let me go back, but I was going to show you on that last slide there a couple resources at the top that you could see, and I also have them in the resources at the end. You can look them up. Some of them are from Helena, Montana. We have the Leah Pocha Clinic, and then the OPI site and the Helena Indian Alliance. So my reflection, after doing research and learning about our current issue of the Native American education gap, I wanted to be more involved by attending community events, making sure to bring involvement in the classroom and doing my part in closing the gap. This was very eye-opening about the severity and effects of history for all. As educators, we need to be knowledgeable and open to learn about their culture and where they come from, know our local resources available and utilize them. We can share what we know with the community, other educators, and families. And here's resources if you would like to look them up. I have the Leah Pocha Clinic, the Helena Indian Association, and OPI down here at the bottom. So thank you for listening, and I can't wait to hear what you guys